I rewatched Lady and the Tramp, and it's. I mean, parts of it are good, but there is a lot. There is a lot of racism in it, which is fun. There's a lot of anti-Italian, anti-Chinese racism, and then
the funny racism.
yeah, and then Tramp really bugs me. He kind of sucks. He's like a shitty character, and
Is
that
Tramp
character,
the boy dog?
yeah, the boy
Okay.
dog, and Tramp is in that character is in a lot of movies where it's supposed to be like this like like street smart guy, but he's annoying. He's arrogant. And he's annoying.
Yeah.
It's like the Billy Joel character in Oliver and Company.
Billy Joel? Is he actually a
Yeah, he
character?
voices the dog in Oliver and
Oh
Company.
my gosh, I need to watch that.
And it's
I
like,
don't think
let me
I've seen
show
it.
you, kid, how the streets work.
Did some of
Teaches
did
him
he
how
do
to
some of
steal
the
hot
music for
dogs
it?
or whatever. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Anyway, I'm back from Italy, everybody. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Our guest today is she might not be particularly funny or interesting, but she's my friend.
Hello.
It's my friend Whitney. She's a
Yoga instructor.
What's that?
I'm a yoga instructor.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yoga instructor, Bernie bro.
Bernie bro.
What's the biggest accomplishment you think in your life?
Moving away from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
You don't have a college degree?
No.
Me neither. So.
We got a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about that. We don't even have to talk about.
No, we got to talk about the dumbass mafia. But yeah, I went to Italy for about a week, and I was in a bookstore in Rome, and they had this book. They had I knew I had a plane ride the next day, so I picked up Gomorrah. It's all about the mafia in Naples.
Oh.
And the last time I went to Italy, I flew in and out of Naples, and as we were leaving the airport, it really does. I mean, I don't want to like be elitist or anything, but Naples is like a slum.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it looks like a third world country. And
is that where the people are darker skinned?
They're a little darker skinned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
Darker skin, less educated, more sexually aggressive.
Mm.
You know.
Did you get raped while you were there?
No, I was only there for a little bit, but I felt like I might have. Yeah. I was ready to like throw Deb in front of a rapist. And just be like, take her instead, please. Come on.
Deb would
I'm
fight
too
them
young.
off.
Yeah, Deb. Yeah, yeah.
Deb would protect you.
I mean, this is like a politically correct thing to say, but I don't worry about Deb getting raped.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
some women that I've dated, I'm like, all right, be careful. Where are you? But I don't think Deb. I would like to see some. Actually, you know what? If you're a listener, why don't you try to rape Deb?
oh my god. Please don't. But
yeah, but you
get
know
your
where
ass
she.
beat.
You can probably piece together where we live, where she spends time. You know,
I can tell you what I
that's
see
the
outside
challenge.
the window right
How about
now.
this? A free if you successfully rape Deb, you get a free Patreon subscription. There we go. I'm back, baby. Yeah, but so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. The Gomorrah.
Gomorrah, but does that say Gomorrah?
Yeah, so I guess he changed the name to Gomorrah, but it's the clan that runs Naples. It's the Gomorrah.
Okay.
So I mean this book is really good, and also so in the beginning he writes this like he writes a preface. It's a very long, kind of like dramatic preference. I don't know if you know this, but Italians are a little bit dramatic.
They're dramatic, yeah.
And so basically, so a little backstory on the book. This author spent 10 years writing this book. He like worked, I think he worked in a mafia like textile factory, and he was like the waiter at some like mafia wedding. And he just spent years and years compiling all this information. There was a war that happened in like the early 2000s. He documented that. This book came out in 2006, and it was like this huge expose of. I mean, I don't think anything like that was ever written before.
About the mafia.
About the mob in Naples.
Okay.
Yeah. And
what's the difference between mafia and mob?
So, look, so there's a few different. I guess there's a few different sects or clans. So La Cosa Nostra is from, which means this thing of ours. That's Sicilian, but the Gomorrah is from Naples,
Okay.
and they have like the highest. They have the highest body count. I think they have the highest body count over every any other, higher than any other mafia faction or any terrorist organization in Italy. He breaks down the murders in the book, and he says how many murders happen in each year, and it's anywhere from like 62 to like 160 murders. Yeah,
And it says like the reason, who did it.
Yeah, he does document like a lot of the murders. A lot of it, I mean, I just kind of skip through that because it's like
Oh, that's my
name.
favorite part.
Well, he lists everybody by name, so it's like WAP name, like in this Alessandro Oppolinio was murdered, and then they shot Rufala Di Baccio, and then they so I mean and I think a lot of people are like, who cares about these dead guineas, but but he's really good at like sort of conveying the way that they just have this control over people.
Mm-hmm.
They have this. Should I bring the dog out here? I hear him barking.
Do you think that they can hear
Son
on
of
the?
a fucking bitch.
Can they hear on the
No,
microphone?
but I can hear it, and it's gonna bother
Is it bothering
me.
you?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put him away, and we'll be right back, folks. And we're back. And what were we talking about again? We were talking about Deb getting raped. And I also watched John Wick on the plane.
Yeah. Which one are there a couple? John
Yeah, there's
Wicks?
3.
Okay.
So I watched the first one. I'd never seen them before.
Okay. Is that the
And,
one that has a big rave scene,
Yeah, I think so.
which is incredible?
Well, no, I think they all have a rave. I mean,
okay.
it seems like every movie is just him walking through
Parties,
like shooting people, but not killing any innocent people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've seen one, and I don't
Mhm.
know which one, and I remember just the rave scene, and I was like, I want to go to that party.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. There's one where like so this Russian mob boss's son kills his puppy, so he like goes on a revenge spree.
Is that what the whole movie is about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, so he like finds the guy in like a bath. He's in like this pool club, and he starts fighting everybody, fighting all his bodyguards. And this one giant guy like starts fighting him, and then he like pushes him back, and then he shoots him in the body like 4 times, and then he just pops him in the head. And that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
But also I'm kind of like, how many times can you watch somebody get shot in the head?
Well, I mean, it's probably just watching Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who's still kind of a bad actor.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that he's never really been a great actor. I think he's just,
Yeah.
I mean, he is a treasure.
Everybody loves him. Yeah, everybody loves
he's-
him though.
Yeah, he's
He
great.
seems like a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him.
Mhm.
I don't think he's particularly talented.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
mean, he's cool.
Okay. Yeah, but so I'm watching this movie, and I'm just thinking about like if the and I'm also reading the book, and I'm thinking about if the Naples Mafia kidnapped Frankie, like what I would do to get him back, and I was like, yeah, Deb, how about like, and I'm in the Uber on the way home.
Would you trade Deb for Frankie?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I can't answer that.
Maybe.
But I don't think I would. But I wouldn't, but I feel like Deb can probably handle herself.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I think she could.
So I was just imagining it's like the final scene of the movie, and they have Frankie in like a warehouse, and for some reason they can't kill. I don't know why they can't kill him, but they can't. Maybe he's got some kind of bomb inside of him or something, or I mean I don't know what it is. But they can't
put a bomb up his butt.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of why they wouldn't just kill the dog. Maybe I kidnapped.
Oh wait, no. If he like ate diamonds or whatever, but then they would definitely want to kill him.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Right.
on that.
Right. Maybe he ate, but then they would want to.
They'd tear him apart.
Maybe I kidnapped the boss's daughter or something.
Maybe they need him to be alive for whatever reason.
They need him to be alive for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I find a way to like hack into the radio system, and I'm just like, gentlemen, whatever your issue is, because I like pissed them off, and that's why they took the dog. And I'm like, whatever your issue is with me, you know, I don't think it has anything to do with the dog. So if any of you want to bring him out, we can end this right now. And also, if you want to leave, you know, that's fine too. And one guy like runs away. I'm like, but I will be coming in there to get my dog. So if you stand in my way, you're gonna die. And then I charge the warehouse, and then Deb is covering. No, so the two guys guarding Frankie, a bullet goes through the guy's head, and Deb is giving me sniper fire. She's covering me with sniper fire.
Yes,
and then I go in and karate everybody to death.
Do you picture yourself as John Wick in this scenario?
I guess a little bit, but I guess I'm more of a like maybe I'm like ex-military or something.
Okay.
Or I'm a some kind of mercenary.
Are you a black guy?
I wish. No, but I'm wearing blackface camo. Did you see that thing with Did you see the thing with Donald Trump Jr. went on The View and he accused Joy Behar of wearing blackface? She's like, I never wore blackface. And then they did a mashup where they cut, and then she's like, oh yeah, that was my Halloween costume. I darkened my skin. When she like went as like Diana Ross or something.
Oh
She's
my
like,
God.
I went for Halloween as like an African queen.
Oh wow.
But
did she get canceled on Twitter or anything?
No, she didn't get canceled.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they kind of like, you know, they but that was like before we knew that was bad. Anyway.
Right. I mean, right.
I don't know.
I wore some bronzer before.
You did?
Yeah.
To do what?
To be a very tan Macho Man Randy Savage.
Nice.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
He's a white guy.
Call into conservative talk radio and be like, excuse me, as a black woman. Actually, Whitney is a black woman.
I am black and white.
A strong black
Can you
woman.
Tell?
Yeah, so I gave Deb this whole scenario of like her, you know, so I'm like fighting 4 guys at once, then she's giving me sniper fire to rescue the dog. And then she's like, but like what if I got kidnapped? And I'm like, I mean, I haven't thought about that, but
You're
I
like,
don't
at
think
least
you
I would
need to
have
be
Frankie.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be rescued.
Yeah.
I think you're fine. Anyway, so yeah, so one thing this guy's really good at in this book is he talks about like really like the because when we talk about the mafia, when we talk about organized crime, we never really talk about, and movies don't do this either. They never talk about like the stranglehold that they have over people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, and there are a ton of like they make a ton of textile like knockoff clothing, knockoff designer clothing, and the whole thing
to this day, or like
yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah, so they control. So the syndicate operates in Naples, but they control a lot of these villages outside of Naples, where like the only industry is manufacturing.
And
they
Naples
run these.
What's the mafia there again?
The Gomorrah.
Oh, okay. Who's a Sicilian?
La Cosa Nostra.
Sicilian one.
La Cosa Nostra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just heard that the Sicilian mafia wasn't discovered until 1992.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was just listening to a podcast about that.
Okay.
And
my great uncle married a Sicilian woman, and my uncle in Italy told me that my uncle Enrico, he was really funny. He would go to Atlantic City like every week, and he would steal towels. And he even had the maids like in on it. Like they would bring him bags of towels, like they were working for him.
wow.
Yeah.
But at a hotel, the towels aren't usually very nice. I've
I don't know
stolen
why.
Towels before.
Yeah.
They're
He would like give my mom bags of towels, and she'd be like, "Oh, thanks," and we would use them at our house. But I'm
Yeah.
like, these are hotel towels.
yeah, they're not very soft.
They've been through
unless-
some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They're
some
like
shit.
they're like Syrian war refugees of towels. You know?
They're really rough.
They're rough
thin.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper towels.
Because when you stay in a hotel, you're like, this is the arrangement. Like someone has, you know, these
Yeah.
stuff's been done to these towels, but it's
Yeah.
like the hotel's nice enough.
I mean, I understand.
You just kind
like,
of accept the fact that you're, you know,
yeah,
you're in sperm.
right, and people have done everything to everything, anything imaginable
Mm-hmm.
to the furniture, I don't know, the linens.
Yeah.
But I do get taking the towels. I do that sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And toilet paper rolls.
Well, he would do it in a way that was like, it was like pathological. Like he would just steal as many towels as he possibly could. And then he had the maids in on it.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And then one time, like, my dad forgot to bring the towels, and he was like, "What the hell's the matter with you? What are you doing? I told you to get the towels." Because he was like
Did
nuts.
he have a bunch of towels at home?
He
must
yeah,
have.
he had a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And so in like 2006, I was like moving into my own place, because I was in college, and I got this little studio apartment, and my mom was like, "Go over to Uncle Enrico's house and get some stuff for your apartment," because he had a ton of shit from the casino.
Towels.
Yeah. And he so I was like in his basement, and his crawl space was just filled with like towels and George Foreman grills and toaster ovens and all this shit.
Are they neatly folded?
They're neatly folded and organized.
That's
like
nice.
it was like a stash house.
Are they all white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so I'm like, "Oh, can I have this? Can I have this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it to you." Because his wife was upstairs and she had Alzheimer's. And I guess she wouldn't let him give the stuff away.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh, how about I take one of this? I can just put it in my car." He's like, "I'll bring it to you. Shut the hell up." Because he was like scared that she would yell at him. And then my uncle in Italy told me that another time he went to Sicily with his wife, and he brought his Cadillac with him to Sicily. And when you go to Italy, like all the cars are really small, and
Yeah.
and then he brought his giant blue Cadillac and was driving it around. and then he said that a bunch of kids were like gathering around the car, like trying to touch it, and he like got mad, and he like got a stick, and he's like, "I'm gonna hit those kids." And then his wife was like, No, you can't, the mafia's here." So I miss him.
What year was that? Or what about?
It was probably like the 60s. Yeah, a long time ago. But anyway, so yeah, in this book they sort of talk about like just the influence, because you never really think about that. You never really think about like the mafia and their influence on like working people and them squeezing working people.
And that I also heard there's a lot of pimps.
Oh yeah,
Even though they look.
that's in Sicily or in Naples?
I can't really remember.
Okay.
It was hard. It was kind of hard to retain all of the information because it's just this guy.
Yeah.
Very.
It's a lot of Guinea shit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, if you pick up this book is really good because he tells a lot of like individual stories.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, there was this one kid, he was like 14 years old, and he would like stick up people. There was a spot where couples would go and have sex in their cars, and he would rob them. And then he was robbing the same place over and over again. And so the cops chased him, and then he allegedly pointed his gun at the cops, and they killed him.
Oh.
And but it was just it was a fake gun. So like whether it's like questionable whether the police murdered him or.
Yeah.
So see, they kill white people too. All right. But white people. So they built a little memorial for this kid because it was kind of like a thing where that's what a lot of the kids do. There's not a lot of jobs, and they end up. So in the town, they built a little memorial for this kid, and the I guess the local mayor or whatever, or the local government official was like so mad that they built this monument to a lowlife that he had it bulldozed.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, they bulldozed the monument for the kid, and then the whole town started rioting. So I think for a few days, they were like throwing stuff and burning stuff, and then they said that like, and then they even set up barricades, and then apparently like a black SUV like drove past the barricades, and it was a guy from they call them the clans, so he was from the Klan. And he was like, "You got to stop this," and they like just cleaned it right up, and that was it. And that's sort of I think that was meant to illustrate sort of the control that they have over these people's lives.
Yeah, even though they're not doing anything good for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing the guy was talking about was that like in business, it's all about percentages. So if you can beat your competition by like 4%, 6%, 10%, 12%, you'll get a corner on the market. And these people who make this stuff, they work in a lot of these towns. I mean, there's some of these towns in Italy, outside of Naples, where people just work all day and they go to bed and it's like all they do is work. The lights are always on. There's no break. And they're basically controlled by these clans, as they call them.
The clan is like a branch of the mafia, or like...
Yeah, it's like one of the... So I think from what I understand, a lot of other mafia families have like a pyramid structure where it's like there's a boss at the top, but then this is more like, I guess, horizontal. There's different groups that control different areas. So there's not like centralized power. And then he also tells, but I think it's funny because, like, you think about capitalism, and that does seem to be sort of the ideology where it's like it's just super competitive. Everyone's competing with each other, and if you're like, well, if I don't fuck these people over or undercut or do whatever, like, they're gonna take over, and it's not. I don't know. It just seems like it's a
disease.
It's a disease. Yeah. Yeah, like if you're like, I mean, it seems like there's no. Sometimes there has to be some like some oversight or some regulation or whatever. Because I feel like if I run a moving company, and then there's another moving company that opens up and they start paying their guys like $10 an hour, and they're able to offer lower prices, then maybe, I don't know. It's like, how do you?
Yeah.
It's just very demoralizing to think about capitalism in that way.
Yeah.
Where somebody's got to be exploited or screwed over.
Right. And I mean, that's really the only way that capitalism works. It just screws people over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we need Bernie Sanders.
That's why we need Bernie Sanders, baby. And if you're not on board, you can suck me off. I just want to say, if you don't vote for me, you can suck me off. Would that be great?
That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, I just think it was so funny that, like, forever Trump was like just saying awful shit after awful shit, and he ended up getting the nomination and the presidency. Yeah. I mean, like,
it's still crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about people?
But we didn't get to have our version of that.
Yeah. Right.
So I hope he goes even farther. I hope he's like, Jeff Bezos, you're a cuck, and you couldn't satisfy your wife.
God,
and that's why she left you, because you a bitch.
Did that happen?
No.
Oh.
I wish it would.
Oh, yeah, we gotta take over, Mike.
Mm-hmm. We sure do.
We gotta help Bernie win.
Who's the Democratic candidate you like the least?
All of them.
Yeah.
I can't stand them. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think Mayor Pete's the worst.
Yeah, maybe he's the worst. Who else?
He's trying to say that he doesn't have black supporters because of homophobia, which maybe.
Okay, fine, but you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, right. Right. I know. You're not.
He really said that?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a guy I worked with. I worked with this guy at Got Junk, and he was like, yo, son, he's like, you can say whatever you want to me, but I'll tell you what, there's one thing you say to me that we'll be fighting. I mean, it's if you insult my family or you tell me to suck your dick. Like, you tell me to suck your dick, I'm fucking you up.
That guy's gay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't really believe when someone's like really homophobic that it's because they're gay or anything.
I don't believe that either. Yeah, you can just be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the book, he tells another story about there was this guy. See, this is like, I think this is interesting because a lot of people do get killed, but also a lot of people just get their lives ruined
Yeah.
by these people. There was a guy that he talks about because I think he worked at one of these factories. And he meets this guy who's a tailor, and his name is Pasquale. And he said that Pasquale was like this amazing tailor. He had this impeccable like attention to detail. Let me try to find it actually, because I wrote a little excerpt in here.
Did you read that whole book?
I read I'm right here. I read half
okay.
of it. Yeah. But it's nice having a little bit of yeah.
Angelina Jolie. Is she
Yeah.
actually mentioned?
Wow.
in
Thanks
it?
for spoiling
Oh.
the end of the. Anyway.
I can't read, so I was just.
So this guy was like this impeccable tailor. He said every time they would like go out, he would comment on like the cut of the jacket, or he was like just this meticulous, like really really talented guy. And one day he's watching television, and his wife is looking at the TV, and she gasps, and then he goes in and looks at the TV, and he had been commissioned to make this like suit, and Angelina Jolie was wearing it at the Oscars, and they didn't tell him.
Oh, wow.
And they were just like, they just told him like, oh, it's going to America.
Yeah.
But he didn't get any extra money or any kind of like special.
Sucks.
And he even did it like, I mean, this guy was such a good tailor that they said this guy was so talented that he never even like saw her, like he just had her measurements.
Mm-hmm.
But they say that like the way that he had to cut the fabric, it had to like sort of trace her body. I mean, I don't know how this stuff works.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guy was a very good tailor, and they're just like, and then he just sees her wearing the suit that he made.
And he didn't get any like
nothing. Just got his regular.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What is that called?
Exploitation.
Well, right.
Commission.
Yeah, or commission, or credit, I guess.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of rappers don't like Italians for reasons like that. I mean, I get that this tailor he's Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you say that was it the mafia that did that, or who commissioned?
I think he was working for so he was working for one of the factories so the designer commissioned it. The designer asked them to make somebody
designer?
Somebody designed it, and then he made it.
Right,
they sent it to him, and they were like, oh, we'll put our best tailor on it.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell him that she was going to wear it. So it's like he felt like completely demoralized and just
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
When was that?
Probably like 2003, 2002. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has anything like that ever happened to you?
People steal my jokes all the time.
Do they? No. I for my SNL packet one year I wrote a sketch. I might have told this story before, but I wrote a sketch where it was like the show Girls, but they were adding like a character from the ghetto, like Yamanika, to the show to like yell at them, to like And then the opening sketch of that season was the show Girls, and Tina Fey played like a Bulgarian woman who like came from a village, from a poverty-stricken village.
And she was yelling at them, and she's basically that character you're at.
So it was like the same idea, but just changed a little bit. But I could never prove that they stole it.
Right, and I think once you send in the packet,
they own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a couple friends who have the same story.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Everyone who works at SNL is a cunt. Yeah. And they should be put to death. Anyway.
Or fired.
That's my stand. What?
Or fired.
Or canceled.
Yeah.
Oh. I just find one of the writers in the alleyway, and I'm like, you're canceled. And I just I shoot him with a crossbow.
Well, we text each other a lot saying people are canceled.
Yeah.
But
when they go after.
Yeah, it's a joke, I guess.
When they go after Bernie.
Yeah, anytime someone goes after Bernie, they're canceled.
Yeah.
Even if they were beloved before.
Yeah.
They are now canceled.
Sorry.
Yeah.
See you later.
Like now.
See you later, Mr. Rogers. he like
think
comes
he would
back
be
from the dead.
anti-Bernie?
No, he'd probably be pro.
Yeah, he would be. I think he'd like Bernie. I don't care, but I think he would.
Yeah. Sinatra would be anti-Bernie.
Ugh, Sinatra's
Yeah, fuck
fucking
him.
garbage.
Is he? You feel that way?
Yes, I think that you should do an episode on Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
I think that
Just
would
what
be
a piece
really
of shit he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that would be great.
It's funny because didn't he marry Mia Farrow when he was like 50 something and she was 19?
I don't. There's
And
just
that was just like that was just like acceptable.
there's just so many like really nasty rumors about him that they just. I mean, if half of them were true,
Yeah.
he's terrible.
Yeah.
He was just really trash.
Like what's, do you know any of them?
I don't know, like rape and statutory rape, and I mean, he would have been on Epstein Island.
He's like, both kinds of rape tonight. Statutory and the regular kind. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because back in his day, you could just marry it. You could just find a 15-year-old and just, wait till she graduates high school and then she's your wife. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, but those people don't want their women to age.
Mm-hmm.
They want to just keep fucking 15-year-olds.
Right.
So
the song "Luck Be a Lady" too. It's very like it's like shitty.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking look at any other guys.
Yeah.
Don't come to this party and be a hooah.
The Beatles have some lyrics like that.
Do
too,
they?
though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, it's John Lennon being like, and then I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
You can do a.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I wonder what lyrics people are gonna. Oh, thanks. I wonder what lyrics people are gonna complain about though when we,
Well, I have many bones to pick with Drake lyrics. I think that that people talk about Drake being like some sensitive, emotional guy, but really his lyrics. I mean, I don't actually care, and I still listen, but I think his lyrics are the opposite of him being like a sensitive, nice guy that cries when a girl leaves or whatever it is.
You gotta watch out for those guys.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Well, you gotta watch out for those guys because it's like their ego,
Yeah.
Like
those guys
there's like an
and
entitlement.
Male feminists, guys that are
sure,
like, oh,
of course.
I'm a feminist.
Yeah, that should give the FBI license. Just look at your past if you say that you're a feminist. Anyway, so
Are you looking at the outline?
Yes.
Maybe we should quickly talk about how I got an email about the outline, but you had Deb write it for you?
Why?
Because it was sent from Deb's email.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel like signing into my own Gmail, so I just wrote it from hers.
In case you're being
Thanks,
watched
Whitney. What a great story. Wow, you really.
Deb writes Mike's emails.
Whitney, you really brought this show in the right direction. Man, nice. Yeah, there was another story in the book where like some guy. So there was a thing where, and this is how they were like, this is an important story to know how they settle conflict. But there was like some guy who worked for another guy, and then he wanted to sort of like go off and kind of start his own thing. And he didn't tell his boss, and his boss like found out that he was planning to sort of like move, like he was planning to like ask for permission to move away, but he didn't tell his boss, and then his boss found out. So his boss's son was like dying in the hospital, and the underling came to visit him, and he like pulls him aside, and then he takes like I think it was a shot glass, and he pisses in it, and he makes the guy drink his piss. It was like, I think, to like apologize to him.
The guy that while he's visiting his son?
The guy whose son is dying.
Yeah.
Pissed in a glass.
And made the visiting
guy who like worked for him, was like his underling.
Wow.
Because he wanted to like forgive him. So he had him drink his piss. And
then did he forgive him?
I think so. Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg did something like that.
Drank piss or made somebody drink?
Well, made somebody drink. Yeah. No,
I would
Zuckerberg
like
doesn't drink
him to
piss.
drink
I would like
piss.
him to drink my piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might like that though.
Yeah.
I bet he does.
Uh-huh.
Look at his face. He looks like he likes
Wouldn't that be
to
great
drink
if Bernie's, because Bernie's going to like democratize, when he's president, he's going to democratize power, right?
Yeah.
So what if he sets up a court and then like it's just public opinion, like we vote on how people are punished, and we just vote for Mark Zuckerberg to drink piss every day for stealing our data. And you get to watch it live on Facebook Live.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking at the email you sent.
You threw it over your shoulder. Mark, do it again. And then the piss that he drinks, it just comes from progressively more homeless people. Everyone's like
more homeless.
Yeah, everyone whose piss he's drinking just gets more and more homeless. But yeah, they also control. So they have this in Naples. They have this open air drug market, and one thing that they do, which I think is kind of interesting, is they guarantee legal protection for their customers. It used to just be for their employees, but if you like get caught buying drugs, you can like use their lawyers.
Oh. So
that's kind of nice.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. They are pretty good at business.
Because they're good at fucking people over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
why.
Because another thing they do is like if you run a shop and you need to buy stuff for your shop, certain suppliers will if you pay cash, you get your goods at like a 20% discount or something. So I think what the Gomorrah will do is like they'll be like, okay, we'll front you the cash and then you just pay us like 10%. So you're still getting the sort of like the cash discount.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you fall into debt, they basically like take over your business and then they put you on like a monthly salary. So you can end up like
it's like
working.
A credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can end up like working in your own. You can end up working in your own shop.
Oh, geez.
On like a monthly stipend.
That's pretty evil.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. I mean, I've been thinking about this recently, where like bad people fuck each other over, and they hurt each other, and then bad people fuck good people over.
Mm-hmm.
But good people are never violent. Good people don't ever do anything violent.
Good people.
Good people never kill bad people.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no such thing as a good guy with a gun. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm just saying like a lot of these people who like literally destroy lives all the time. I don't know why we don't just have an army.
Yeah. Can we start our own
and just
army?
murk some of them? I guess we could.
Yeah.
I don't know what's stopping us. Yeah.
In the name of Bernie.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't want that, but
no.
Maybe after he gets elected, we can do it.
Yeah. Let's just start doing violence.
Let's just do violence.
We'll wear like a Bernie Sanders mask when we're doing it. A Bernie and an AOC mask. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like okay, I see.
Yeah.
Like a fake head.
Yeah. Another thing you can do is if you have a pension, you can basically invest it in the drug trade, and you can like double your money. So that's kind of nice. If you make €600 a month from your pension,
yeah, if it happens,
you can put it into the.
If it were all good news, wouldn't everybody do it? Is there a way for it to?
It seems like a lot of people. It seems like a lot of people do it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like present day stuff we're talking about?
This is maybe like 10 or 12 years ago. I'm sure that they still exist.
Yeah.
But all this stuff. I mean, this book was written in 2000. It came out in 2006.
Okay.
After his like 10-year-long investigation.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing that they do is that so when they get new product, new supplies of coke or heroin or whatever, they put out sort of like they put like the word on the street saying that they've lowered their prices, and all these junkies come in and they're able to sort of use them as guinea pigs. They like line them up and they let them they like see how the drug works on them, on like drug addicts. And there's been cases of people like, using their stuff and dying.
Oh. Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah. Italians, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to say junkie.
You're not?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a word we're not going to be allowed to use in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Junkie, crackhead, cunt. Get it in now, folks. We got 1 month left of 2019.
They can't take cunt away from us.
Yeah.
They can't.
Well, I guess women can say it, but
Yeah.
it's honestly, it's like your N-word.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if I hear someone saying it.
When there were
usually
water
it's funny.
fountains that said women only, and then someone would go, hey, cunt, don't drink out of that water fountain. Because it's almost like the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, let's see. They say if someone screws the boss's wife, we cut his balls off. There was a big war in I think it was 2000. No, 2004, and they
A war or drug war?
like a war between two factions.
Uh-huh.
And they would kill. See, this is the funny thing. I think it's like you look at like Italian, like the mob in like over here, and it's like, yeah, just me and my friends being wise guys eating pasta, running numbers, and it's like these guys in Naples are just so much more insane and ruthless.
They're scary.
Yeah. There's a Soprano, and they're poor. They're more poor, and the stakes are higher. There's a Sopranos episode where, did you watch that clip I sent you?
No, I was at work.
You're fucking worthless. Jesus.
How long is it?
God
Can I
damn
watch
it!
now?
No. Well, Tony goes to Naples, and these kids are like playing with firecrackers, and then they like smack the kid, and then his mom comes out, and she's like, no, please, he's my son. They like smack the mother. And they're like, welcome to the University of Naples. Or the Università di Napoli. And then Tony realizes that they're like much more ruthless than he is.
How does that episode end? Did he leave scared of his own people?
He brings one of the guys over to like work for him.
Really?
Yeah.
What season is this?
2.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you the clip because that's fun. Because it's this guy Furio. He's got a ponytail, and at the beginning of the episode, Tony's nephew's trying to shake down this like massage parlor that like I guess runs prostitution. And they're not paying protection money, and then Christopher's like, "Where's my money? This is unacceptable." And the guy's like, "Come on, you got to give me some more time." And then at the end of the episode, Tony sends Furio into the salon.
And who is that? That's
the guy from Naples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And he gets the money.
Is he a long-time character?
Yeah, he's in it a good amount. He's he ends up being like Tony's muscle sort of because he didn't have that before. But then there's a great scene too where like he goes back to Naples and he's talking to his uncle, and his uncle's this little Italian guy who talks like this, and he's like he's like yelling at him a little bit, and I think that guy's the best. I think that guy's the best character in the series. Yeah,
I've seen part of season 1. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. We'll just watch clips.
Okay.
Yeah, but this war. So usually, like it seems like in America, you know, like with a lot of the mob wars, they'll kill a few guys, they'll kill some leaders, but it's not super bad. This was like they killed a lot of people. They killed people indiscriminately. They were just kind of like, yeah, if you don't know who he is or if it's questionable, just like shoot the guy. And then there was one guy they were looking for. His name was Gennaro something. And at one point in this war, I think this was 2004, they found a body in like a burnt out car, and they couldn't identify the body inside because it was like set on fire. And it turned out that the body belonged to this like 22-year-old girl who dated this guy Gennaro for like a few months. And she was just like a 22-year-old girl who like worked 3 jobs and like volunteered with the elderly. And they were trying to find out where he was. So they like tortured her and they set her on fire.
Oh.
So.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Animals.
Yeah.
These
people are really bad.
They're really bad. Yeah. That's my takeaway.
These people are really bad.
But the funny thing that I've also noticed is in a lot of like in a lot of American media, the portrayals of it always centers around people in the mob, which I get that that's like entertaining, and I certainly enjoy those movies and stuff, but they never. I would kind of like to see a movie about maybe like just somebody who just like a normal person who
takes down the mob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
that would be fun.
Like oh, my dad just owns like a cheese shop or something, and they're shaking him down, and they like ruined his business, and then he like disrespected them, so they killed my dad, and then I get all the town together, and we like, we run the mob at it or something like that.
You should write that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I would watch it.
Yeah, it's always it's like it seems like a lot of fuck. Zoom just fell on the ground. Folks, this is the last episode of the sit down. The show's over.
Is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's a have you seen there's a documentary called Cartel Land? And it's about civilians who, it came out in 2015. It's about civilians who kind of like took up arms and fought the cartels.
Oh yeah.
But then they sort of become corrupt.
Yeah.
And it like the power of that kind of like corrupts them. And there's a scene where like a guy from this sort of resistance group is like basically torturing a cartel guy. Like he's got a gun to his temple, and he's like kind of like fucking with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I think I watched that.
The world's fucked.
The world is fucked.
Yeah.
And that's why we need Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, to save the world.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is just a very pro Bernie.
Well, I mean, that's what we text about constantly. It's always about Bernie.
Yeah.
We do a lot of for Bernie, would you?
Oh yeah,
do
yeah,
this?
yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you say the M word on Twitter and deal with the repercussions?
Yes.
You're like, I did it for you, Bernie.
Yeah.
Excuse me, everyone. I have an announcement to make.
N-word. For
well,
Bernie.
you can say it.
But I mean, no, I can't, and I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we still got a few minutes left in this episode, so.
Well, we didn't even get to the good stuff.
What's the good stuff?
I don't know. Prince Andrew, Epstein stuff. I mean, your dad.
Oh, yeah. Well, I brought back a wallet from Italy, and we could talk about that. Frankie chewed it up. It was on my, so my brand new wallet. He chewed my wallet up, and then and I'm pretty sure it was him because he's eaten money in the past. And, yeah, there was the money was chewed up and the wallet was chewed up, and I got really mad, and I swatted him, and I threw the wallet at him. And he, obviously, he felt bad.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but then it was but then I felt really bad too that I did that.
You felt bad. He probably didn't even get it.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey.
But I was thinking, my dad hit me a million times. Did he ever feel bad? I doubt it.
Not.
Yeah. Well.
Did you guys have a good time in Italy together?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy.
Where was your mom?
She was home with my autistic brother, which she said she had a great time. She's sick of my dad, so she was happy to be.
Yeah. I think most women maybe secretly want to be single mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or lesbians.
Or lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. I mean that. I think I have a couple other excerpts in this book. Let me just.
Do you think Prince Andrew has any ties to the mafia?
Let me. Yeah, maybe. Oh, he tells another story about he was talking to this kid, and so everybody, everyone in the mob has these nicknames that just sort of come out of whatever. They just come randomly at certain moments or based on your preference or whatever. And there was this one kid, he had blonde hair and he was chubby, so they called him Pikachu. So I guess they are kind of funny. But he said he kind of became involved because he had a dog that was like that would like go into the courtyard, and then one day the dog wandered across the street into this like courtyard of this abandoned building, and then someone shot the dog with a submachine gun like through the door. So they like apologized and they gave him some money, and then they like they let him start working for them. But he tells the story about how like so one day he like lifts up his shirt, the journalist who's writing this, he lifts up his shirt and his body's covered in bruises, and he goes, the bruises, eggplants, were the fruit of the bullets that the jacket had stopped an inch before they penetrated flesh. So what they would make, so to make these kids like not afraid of bullets and guns, they would make them put on a bulletproof vest and they would shoot them.
Wow.
And when the bullet hits you with a bulletproof vest, it still like bruises your skin.
Yeah.
So it says, the bullets, eggplants were the fruit of the bullets that the jacket had stopped an inch before they penetrated flesh. To train the boys not to be afraid of weapons, they make them put on a vest and then fire at them. Faced with a gun, a vest alone isn't enough to convince you not to flee. A vest is not a vaccine against fear. The only way to anesthetize every fear is to show how the guns can be neutralized.
It's poetic.
Yeah. So it's funny too because my aunt, who was Sicilian, she had Alzheimer's a lot of her life, but she would always be like, the mafia, they're good people. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can't really blame her. She's Sicilian, and if she, I don't know, experienced it differently.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. And then just the last thing I want to talk about is just like the ideology, because, I mean, I do try to sort of, I guess, empathize a little bit, and he talks about like he calls the mob neoliberal, which is I thought was pretty funny. Yeah. And he goes, whoever says that it's amoral, that life can't exist without ethics, that the economy has limits and must obey certain rules, is merely someone who has never been in command, who's been defeated by the market. Ethics are the limit of the loser, the protection of the undefeated, the moral justification for those who haven't managed to gamble everything and win it all. The law has fixed codes, but justice doesn't. And then he says, the logic of criminal business of the bosses coincides with the most aggressive neoliberalism. The rules dictated or imposed are those of business, profit, and victory over the competition. Anything else is worthless. Anything else doesn't exist. So it's like, you can do whatever you want. You can kill people. It's like all about force and competition and winning. And the world's full of people like that.
It is.
Not us, though. We're fucking cool.
We're good people.
Yeah.
We're real good people.
Yeah, we're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have no money and no education, but...
and that means that we're good.
At least we're
that
liked.
makes us good.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
And if we did have money, we would be good people with money.
Sometimes I want to play the game a little bit, though.
Like what? Be bad?
Yeah. I want to be a shark.
In what way?
I want to win. I want to be rich.
Do you want to gamble?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course I wish I had money, but I wish I had I wish I could own an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's funny is like that ideology, it does seem like that's the gateway to all other like a lot of other shitty thinking, right? Because when you're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, and then you like get some success and you're like, I'm a winner. So like if you're a winner, then that means then by that logic, everybody who's not and who hasn't made it like is a loser. So you start to look down at people who have had sort of had whatever kinds of disadvantages or whatever. And then it's kind of a way to justify like racism and sexism and homophobia and whatever other, and ableism and other kinds of bigotry, I think.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I think that, I don't know, I mean, we would never be like that because we know what it's like. We would never, look down on people for, I don't know, for whatever it is, because we know what it's like.
Yeah.
To be poor.
But you got to play the game a little bit.
Yeah. In what do you mean? Like,
Like you gotta,
how do I play
be,
the game?
you gotta find the balance. I think you have to like be you have to be a little competitive.
Yeah.
You know, you have to you do have to work hard and
Right. Yes.
Right.
Well, of course. Yeah.
put effort into things.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I feel like I don't want to be. I don't ever want to be too successful.
Yeah. But you know what?
I think I'll cap my wealth at like 6 million or something.
Yeah. I think that's our problem, Mike. Both of us. We don't want to be too successful, and then it keeps us from being moderately successful.
Yeah.
We gotta set our.
Well, I mean,
sights
don't lump
high.
me in with you because I've actually done stuff with my life. I'm not a 40-year-old babysitter.
I'm not 40 yet.
Yeah.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little older than you.
Mm-hmm. You want to tell the listeners?
How old I am?
Yeah.
36.
Nice.
Mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And yeah, whatever. I'm transitioning into a
woman. And as the Chinese say, brack don't crack. Brack don't clack. All right, we're back, baby. Back from vacation.
So did you
and I made a
enjoy
joke.
that book? You are enjoying that book.
I am enjoying the book. Yeah, it's
what
really
is the
good.
book called?
Gomorrah.
And who wrote it?
Roberto Saviano. Yeah.
Written
Mr. Drama Queen.
Mr. Drama Queen.
Well, in the preference, he's just like, I've gained everything, but I've lost everything too. Because he travels with like 24-hour police escort, and of course, there's like a death sentence on him. So
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah,
I don't think he'll get whacked or anything.
After he wrote this book, he must have been scared. I mean, he must. I'm still be scared.
Yes, he was, but he also talks about how like he was like, yeah, people asked me if I was scared, but I was like, there was just a compulsion to like get these words out, and I think it's there's sort of a thing where it's like you can only push people so far. You can only take so much from people before they're like, fuck you, and they get. And I think that's what my movie would be about. It would be about how like the mafia just takes everything from people, and you're just like, I have nothing left to lose. Like, I'm gonna strap guns to my body and learn karate and kill all you fucks.
Learn karate.
Yeah.
This book is kind of small for him. What is it like?
That's what she said.
10 years. 10 years of I don't know, research and. Right?
That's a perfect size for a book, though. Remember when Harry Potter books were like 300 pages and they were easy to read, and then they started being like 7. They started being like stop it. They started being like 700 pages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just read a really long book. About Ted Bundy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's what I can talk about.
Was it good?
A different kind of crime. Oh, Mike is chasing his dog. It's good. That's comedy, Mike.
He's so fucking crazy. He's so crazy because like when he barks, and then if you pick him up, he stops barking. But then when I go to pick him up, he like runs away.
Yeah.
He's what is his deal?
He's just an old annoying dog.
I can't with him.
He's small.
I want to euthanize his ass.
No, don't even say it. You're not allowed to say that. How old is he? 13 now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
All right.
He's just a turd. I don't know.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
You want to talk about the how are we doing on time? You want to talk about the Prince Andrew interview real quick? Did you watch it?
I watched clips of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a notification on my phone that said, "Who let Prince Andrew do this interview?" And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
That was the notification.
He's something came out today. He said he wants to do another one.
Oh, wow.
To clear up all
I
the...
thought something came out today that he was going to step back and, like, lay low now.
He's going to step back from palace duties, but he said he wants to give another interview to, like, clear up.
Talk about not partying, how he didn't party.
Did I tell you that?
It was one of my, the headlines I read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first question that the lady asked him, she's like, you sort of do have a reputation as sort of a party, like someone who likes to party. And he's like, Yes, I mean, I don't know why that even really I got that reputation because I've never partied. I've never really partied. It's like, don't you even know how to? I don't know. Doesn't he know how to lie better?
I mean, I don't know. He's been given everything his entire life. It's like impossible to know how to.
But ask me if I like to party.
Do you like to party, Mike?
You know what? I guess that is accurate. I can see why people would say that about me. I do like to party. I mean, I do like. I don't know. I enjoy life. You know, I like people. I like meeting people. I like to have a good time. I've never raped a 13-year-old, but that should have been the answer that he gave.
Yeah,
you can easily.
That would have been a better answer.
I feel like I could have done that interview. Should we do that? Should you ask me the questions that he was asked, and then we?
Yeah. What questions was he asked?
Well, the party thing. Like, yeah. I mean,
okay,
I like
maybe
meeting
I'll just,
people.
If you were
I
Prince
like
Andrew,
meeting people. I enjoy life. I enjoy travel. I enjoy meeting all kinds of new people. Talking to commoners. I love talking to commoners. And
did you ever have?
But
sex
I've
with
never
an
done
underage
anything.
Girl?
Absolutely not. I love my wife.
Did you ever have sex with an underage boy?
But I'll tell you what. I've never broken the law. I've even been in situations where people are breaking the law.
What relationship did you have with Jeffrey Epstein?
Can you
do this in a British accent, please?
I never liked him. I thought he was a dirty Jew. Yes, that's how I... Actually, if he had said that... Actually, there was another report that came out today that said that, like, he's apparently said the N-word. They were like, Prince Andrew... And, I mean, I wonder if that was planned. They're like, all right, you can forget about the child rape now because I said the N-word, and I deeply apologize. And they're like, okay, what about Jeffrey Epstein? He's like, yes, I know, I shouldn't have used that word. It was 1996. You have to understand. We had different attitudes about it.
And he
just completely pivots to the N-word and not the child rape. So I saw some headlines. Somebody was like, just when you thought things can't get worse for Prince Andrew. And it's like, no, I think the first one's worse.
Way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, my God. Prince Andrew's having a bad day.
Who else is going down?
That interview, I mean, I talked about this on the premium episode, but that interview was so fucking crazy because so you look at the timeline, right? Epstein was convicted in 2006, and he got that very light sentence where he was allowed to like leave the jail, and then
he remained friends. People remained friends with him after that, or like he had new friends.
Yeah.
And
so then in 2010, so that picture of Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, that was taken in 2010, right?
Jesus.
So they have so what they have is that so what we know is that we know Epstein was convicted in 2006. He was and Prince Andrew had to see him in 2010. And there's a picture of him with his arm around Virginia Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, the accuser.
Yeah.
Right? So...
How old was she, 17 there?
She was like 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone from the royal family was like, this is prostitution with a minor. It's not pedophilia. They're different things.
Oh.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking arrogant.
Well, yeah, but it's a royal family.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that he's like, yes, I went to see him in 2010. Also, another thing that he was claiming was that he wasn't friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He was friends with Ghislaine, his partner.
Yeah.
He was like, so I didn't really know him. I mean, I was friends with his girlfriend, but I didn't really know anything about him. But Ghislaine was the one like going into.
She was the pimp.
She was the fucking pimp. She was the one going into like Dunkin' Donuts and finding a 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl and being like, "Hey, want to earn some extra money? You just have to massage. You want to learn how to be a massage therapist." Like, so I was just friends with the woman procuring the underage girls.
Yeah.
I wasn't friends with the guy who was fucking them.
Ugh. She was probably raping them too, right? Is that
I think so. I think there was a report that like, yeah, she would join in. Yeah. So.
It's so
Get
crazy.
you a Ghislaine Maxwell, fellas. Fellas.
Is that how they say her name?
Yeah, I think so. But the other thing too is like, so Virginia Roberts, one of the main accusers, she talks about, like she was working at some resort and that's where she met Ghislaine, and then she was like, come learn. You want to learn massage therapy, and that's kind of like where it started. And then she gave him a massage, and then he like turned over, and then she was instructed to have sex with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my god!
When I go to like, a store and there's like a 16-year-old girl behind the counter, I don't even like talk to her. I'm just in my head I'm like, don't let her think you're creepy. Don't let her think you're creepy. Don't say anything. Be polite. Be nice. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Not that I think I'm gonna be weird, but it's like the last thing I would ever want is for this girl to be like, oh, some creep came in. Because I'm sure there are guys who are like that. I'm just very much like a hi, hello, nice to meet you.
You're very aware of those guys.
Yeah.
And you would never want to be mistaken.
I'm like, hi, lovely tits. I gotta go. All right, here's a 20. Keep the change. Don't touch me. I gotta get out of here. Yeah. So just imagine, like, it's just so disgusting.
It's disgusting. Yeah. I remember getting hit on at like 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real. And when you realize what's happening, you're like, as a 12-year-old girl, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, by adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually scary.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah. I know. I think of like, no, I was never hit on as a 12-year-old girl. I think of like Deb's nieces too, and because she's got a niece who's like, I think 12 or 13, and I'm sure it's gonna, I don't know, it might, you never know when it's gonna start, guys being creepy.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I have a 12-year-old niece. I think she's 12. She might be 13, and she's really beautiful, and it's really scary. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not like, whatever, I don't know.
But to me, like, that's kind of like the more disgusting aspect of it. Just them being like, hi, how are you? Oh, are you looking to make more money? Because they knew that these girls were like poor. So
the grooming to you is more.
Yeah, like, I mean that's an aspect and a detail of it that I haven't really thought about until, this week, like how they found these girls and what they did and how they manipulated them.
Yeah, the grooming is real.
The grooming is the.
Yeah, it's really, really fucked up.
I mean, fucking a kid is gross.
Yeah.
Fucking a kid is disgusting too.
Of course, yeah.
And horrible.
But there's something about the grooming that really fucks with you when you think about it. It's just like, like with the Michael Jackson stuff, when they were talking about the grooming or the seducing, whatever, like that stuff is just. It's just so wild. Right,
because you're basically like messing with someone's psyche and their concept of reality.
Right. And like the action obviously is terrible, but like you can say like this is the action and this is bad. The the grooming, the fucking with their heads and stuff is.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just too much.
I know, and then also like. So what's funny, too, is there's that picture of Epstein and Prince Andrew when they're walking down the street. And he was like, yes, and, we went for a walk, and I said I can't be friends with you anymore. And she's like, oh, really? Because you did stay at his place for, like, several days.
Oh, my God.
And he goes, it was a convenient place to stay.
Oh, my God.
They have so much contempt for people, these elites. They
burn them down.
No, but they're so disgusted by people like you and me.
I know. That's
it's
why
like they don't
need to
care.
Burn them down.
They don't. You're right. But he's like, it was a convenient place. I just hope he has to watch that. I hope he has to watch that interview.
He doesn't get it. He won't get it. He's not gonna have to answer to it. He's not gonna suddenly realize what he's done.
Yeah.
He's not going to think he looked like an idiot.
Yeah. But there's something funny, too, where it's like Bill Clinton, I feel like, knows what he's doing. Like, Bill Clinton's like, all right, Jeffrey, we're gonna fuck a 14-year-old. But there's something about Prince Andrew where it's like he's like he comes off as such an oaf that maybe he was just like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I've never had sushi before. Like he's probably just impressed by what's at the house, and then they're like, oh, and here's a girl for you to have sex with. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm sure it's okay if you say it's all right, Jeffrey. Like Bill Clinton knows what he's doing, but he I don't know. Part of me kind of thinks that maybe he like got roped into it.
Prince Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm also watching this interview, and I'm like, is there any way that he could have like given us some more information?
Oh, don't you wish?
But you'd think that would be the move, though. You'd think that, I mean, this girl is accusing him, right? But what if he was like, you have to lie about that.
Yeah.
But then age of consent is weird, because if she was 17, then
she's almost legal.
She's almost legal, so he just be like, I thought it was okay. I thought she was cool with it.
I feel like that it might even be better than him saying, and I'm not saying it's less wrong or anything, but it might be better than him just saying like, oh, I never party. I've never met this girl, or whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause
absolutely.
She isn't 14.
No, and because I feel like this could have been an opportunity for him, and I'm sure I'm wrong for whatever reason.
Well,
But this could have been an opportunity for him to be like, look, I was like, and I don't know how much it would line up with Virginia Roberts' accusation, but Epstein's dead, right? So why couldn't he have given us a little bit of insight into like how he operates? Tell us why he has his money.
Right.
Tell us why, how he gets these girls and how he manipulates people and what he did to you. Instead of just denying the whole thing, you fucking idiot. You're the Prince of England. They're not going to whack you. I mean, maybe they will. I mean, Hillary, there's no limits to who she murders, but
do you think we'll ever find out? I would love to.
I
want
think we
to know
will.
so badly.
Yeah.
I want to know the extent that Bill Clinton is involved, or the Clintons.
Well, he was on the plane 26 times. I mean, it's kind of
I want that
it's one
to
of those
come out
things
so
where like
badly.
yeah, it's like there's secrets, but there's no mystery.
Yeah.
No, there's some mystery.
Well.
But some people say that photo of Epstein and Prince Andrew together, we got to wrap up in a little bit, but people say that the photo of Epstein and Prince Andrew together, Epstein might have taken that photo. And I think that's probably the kind of guy that he was. I think he probably knows how to use people and manipulate people.
Okay. He had that photo taken so he could, as blackmail, or as like some kind of...
As like blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably had someone planted to like take the photo so he could release it.
Well, there were... oh man, I'm getting all of this stuff mixed up, but there were photographers at like, like kiddie, I don't know, child rape parties and stuff that we've talked about a bit before. The Franklin Credit Union. Thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, it's
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But my thing is like, if you really want to, because people don't know how he made his money. So my theory is like, if you really want to control people, I think he probably found a way to manipulate these girls. And then I think he used the girls to blackmail these other powerful people. So I think he probably was like, oh, yeah.
Not just blackmail. They're probably paying him to fuck kids. I mean, right? That's what they're
no, I think he might have like baited them into doing it, and I think he might have.
No
I think
way.
he might have. I think he might have like had a party, and then he was like, "Hey, why don't you go? And then Prince Andrew's like, "Oh, this young girl likes me. She must think I'm cool."
No way. People like Bill Clinton are like, "Hey, you have kids?
Yeah.
I'm coming over. Here's
He's like,
however much money."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, I know. He's like, I know Stephen Fry.
Don't
He's like,
don't
what?
drag Stephen
Don't
Fry
drag
into
Stephen
this.
Fry.
Excuse me.
No, I was just trying to think of like a mediocre, like British. He's like, he tells the girl, he's like, if you ever want to meet Mr. Bean, if you ever want to meet Mr. Bean, just let me know. And then I think that maybe like he's like, oh, this young girl likes me, and then they have sex, and then Epstein's like, you fucked a minor. You fucked a minor at my house.
I think that these men know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think that they know what these parties are, or these dungeons, or these temples.
Yeah.
On islands, they know what they're doing.
Right.
They aren't being held against their will. They're not flying 26 times on the private plane.
Well, because they asked Virginia Roberts, they were like, "Do you think that? Did you think that any of these guys like might have been decent people?" And she was like, "Not a single one of them. They were all, scumbags."
See? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
She was like, "I thought they were all just like contemptible pieces of shit." Yeah. Okay,
so the Franklin child prostitution ring allegations is in Omaha, Nebraska, 1988. There was a credit union linked to, child prostitution ring, and it involved politicians and CEOs. Hold on, it's hard. I'm not going to read this, but
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, maybe another episode. We'll get to that. We got to wrap up. We got to watch these debates. We got to see what OJ's saying about the debates.
OJ's watching the debates?
He always does.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Does he like live tweet them or something?
Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Who's he for?
I don't think he'll say. It better not be Bernie. You keep his fucking name out of your mouth, you. Anyway, all right, we got to wrap up. Guys, thanks for listening.
Also, next time maybe talk more about Bernie.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And can I tell your listeners if they want to learn yoga that they can find me on Instagram?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure nobody gives a shit, but
it's Young John Kimball on Instagram.
Yeah, that's my
Who is
personal
John
one.
Kimball?
John Kimball, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Kindergarten Cop.
In Kindergarten Cop.
Why is that your handle?
I don't know. I just always thought it was funny, like imagining him as a young man. I don't know.
Okay.
But my yoga Instagram is Whitney Yoga Pants, and I'm trying to find private clients right now.
Nice.
So message me. I'll come to your creepy house.
You only get one body, folks. Take care of it. Keep it stretched.
Do some stretches.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Guys, email us if you want, sitdownpod@gmail.com. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/sitdownpod. We put out an extra episode every week with some special guests, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.